Now, Big Gospel Choir are not just a choir, they bring joy through the power of song. Now, formed back in 2018, the choir have made it their mission to infuse every performance with boundless happiness and positivity. And they want to be the soundtrack to your special moments. And today I'm joined by three wonderful people who I'll be introducing in just a moment, who will tell us more about the choir and maybe tell us a bit about what they've done. But more importantly, we're going to talk about a brand new EP release, which I heard the other day, and I was really, really excited about. And let's first of all, we've got Gail Windras, we have James Nimbe, and Ainsley John. Good afternoon, good day to you all. How you doing?
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Very well.
James, did I pronounce your name right?
Nimbe. You're close. Numbere.
Nimbere, simple as that. Hey, Nimbere. I think it's important to get people's names right. Okay, so
Yeah.
let me.
Whilst we're there, my name's Ainsley Johns.
John's with an S.
It's okay. It's all good, man.
All right, I'm going home. Gail, anything to add?
No, just Gail Windras. That is
Hey,
it.
listen, I got that right. I got that right. So, Gail, you've been singing for a number of years, and you've been in various choirs and done various projects and initiatives. Tell me how you got involved with Big Gospel Choir and what your role is.
Well, Big Choir, I'd say, is a collective. Big Gospel Choir is a collective of friends and awesome singers. And I think it's just people that we've kind of met along the way. We have an affinity and we work and we sing together. In a nutshell, that is it. I am, I'd say, the team leader in a sense, or the director of the choir, but I cannot run a choir by myself. And that makes me a soloist. So it is, I like to better describe it as a collective of these amazing people. It's great to have great singers, but great singers and musicians who have great personalities, who are joyous and who are a joy to work with. That is Big Gospel Choir.
One thing I have seen over the years has been I've seen quite a few things on social media in regards to when the choir is doing events, and you're all very decked out in your fine linery, as it were, and you're looking really, really good. So where do you normally sing? Is it at events? Is it weddings? Is it celebrations? What's kind of maybe the philosophy or the mindset behind the choir?
Right, we sing at a whole host of events, so weddings, corporate events, funerals, parties, advertising events, and so on. But the ethos, I've kind of got two little statements that I use, is that treating every event as though it was our own. So singing at somebody's wedding, how would I want someone to sing and deliver and bring joy and inspiration to my wedding? Or sadly, if it was a funeral, what would I want? That, I think, is transformative to the world if you treat other people as you would like to be treated. And the second thing is, Big actually stands for because I'm golden. And it's, again, that ethos, because everybody is special. As singers, we're special. We have a responsibility to bring the gold that God has given us to the world and to pass that gold on, and it just kind of becomes this snowball of gold rolling around, spreading joy and happiness and stuff like that. So yes, in a nutshell, that's it.
Oh, beautiful. I didn't know that, so that's really good to hear. Ainsley, tell us about your involvement in the choir and what your role is.
Right, so I'm the musical director for the choir. Also, I'm also the producer for most things for the choir. So anything that you've seen digitally as well for the past few years, it's been mostly my handiwork. And yeah, so anything that needs to be done in terms of songs, I also play, obviously, for the choir, of course. I play keys, bass, and I haven't played drums yet, but that's not my corner. I call other people to do that because as girls, but yeah, so I coordinate most of the music for the choir.
Oh, brilliant! And what about yourself, James? What is your role? I know you're out in Toronto right now, but when you're with the choir, what's your involvement?
I am the hype man.
You're the hype man. Okay. And what does that involve?
hype in. That's why I'm the hype man. I hype the choir. I hype the audience. I'm the. I sing. I do sing.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Yeah.
And we're going to come on to some of your involvement more so with the new production as well, and some of your cultural heritage, which has been at the mainstay, very much involved, the centerpiece of the production. I mean, one thing, it's one thing about having a choir, isn't it? But it's the next thing will be the key thing is how do you take it to the next stage of recording? I mean, what led to the project and also to call it Afro Hymns?
Okay, I'll start and then everybody add their pieces as well. We was actually invited to be part of a show, and the songs that we put together are just too good to keep to ourselves. They're too good to just yeah. So one of the things we have been talking about for a while was having the EP, and this kind of really pushed, like, yeah, let's get some music out. So that was a kind of part of that journey. But it's nice to have some music that the choir are on. It's nice to share the joy. It's nice to have all this talent, and not just in this secret, you go to this event and a couple people can hear there, out for the world to experience that. And thanks to James and Ainsley and the choir, this is now not something that we've been talking about. It's actually a reality.
Yeah.
And the beginning of doing many more as well.
I was going to come on to that because it's a 3-track EP. I mean, James and Ainsley, jump in, in terms of getting from the concept of being singers, musicians. Yeah, we can sing, we can cover lots of songs, but actually to having it recorded, that's a whole different level, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we set out and we thought, as Gail, just building on what Gail said, is that we've got these songs that we've known well. We've been singing them from childhood, and I think we all have a special meaning to them. But then to also encapsulate and sort of umbrella this under this new the genre that's been sort of hitting the world by storm of Afro beats and Afrocentric music, it sort of just breathed new life into those songs and gave it a new meaning. So when we did get into the studio for this, you'll see some of the stuff on our social media page on Big Gospel Choir. And you'll see that we just enjoyed having fun, man. And it doesn't really matter whether there's a mic in front of us, there's a video camera in front of us. Big Gospel Choir is all about being golden and being just a light. And it was just great to be able to capture that. And me speaking as a producer, it was just fun to know that we could, whatever you see online on our events and stuff like that, we captured that also through the EP too. So it was really nice to see that we did that.
Where Ainsley, your reputation goes before. You've been hearing a few people mentioning your name recently. So
right.
So thank you for your excellence.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
It's really good to see. And we have, and of course we have James. I mean, with all of this going on, we got the hype man, right?
Can I just say, James is more than the hype man.
Exactly.
He's more than the hype man. He is the limbs. He is he honestly, the creative thoughts. And I'll just say this if you don't mind me saying this, James. So we said this privately and everything, but now we're on Harry Mac's show. So I have to say here, James, working with James has been a delight, a pleasure. His heart and his passion within this cannot be measured. He is such a talent as well, and this guy is going to, honestly, it'll be hard to get a hold of him soon. So I need to do as much work with him as possible.
And I also want to add to that as well. James has a massive range. We actually call him the soprano.
Oh yeah,
James hit some notes.
Yeah,
I just want to hit some extremely high notes. But yeah, just to echo what Ainsley said, it's an absolute joy to have this joyous energy, and that's so important. You can't have a gospel choir and the people are flat. No, people need life and joy, and that, yeah, James brings that.
They're all making me blush now, right? All the way from Toronto. No, but honestly, I think for me the best thing, I mean, they've talked about it, but working with both of them, Gail and Ainsley, because I've done several projects with different people and different artists. I think this project was one that I really, really, really have had so much fun. and the people, and like the big gospel choir. It's just not like Gail had said at the beginning, it's not just people being able to sing, it's just people's hearts. And so like I look back, I listen to the project and I keep smiling because it was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. And like I couldn't have chosen to do with any other people like this particular project. I was just, yeah, anytime I listen to it, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, yes. And I'm someone that doesn't like to listen to stuff after it's out. When I work on stuff, once it's out, I'm like, no, I don't listen to it again, because you know you've gone over it over and over again. You've listened to it 100 times before you release it. But yeah, this is an exception.
Well, I first heard it, as I said, a few weeks back, and I was like, "Ooh, is this British?" I'm like, okay. No, as soon as it kind of came in, the quality of the production, the excellence of the musicianship, the great sound. I know we already have it, but it's great when I see that we don't talk about it, but we deliver on it. And so for me, it was really exciting to be able to make that connection and say, I know these people. I know these people. So tell us about it. It's a free track EP. Tell us about the songs. Why were these songs in particular chosen? Is that for you,
Ooh.
Gail? And go ahead.
I think we all have to say something. I think, you know, taking these old hymns and giving them a new life, a new vibe. That combination was why hymns have chosen. We are so used to hearing these songs. But yeah, to give them some new life, new vibe. These hymns, and what's so profound is that these hymns are timeless. They can be reworked and used in such new ways. So to bring them up to now, to add Afro beats, flavors is just an absolute joy. But they were chosen because these songs are just great. The lyrics of them are great. The sentiment of them are great. What people understand of them is great. It's not theologically complicated. They're just beautiful songs with beautiful touching lyrics. I will hand over to James or Ainsley to continue.
adding to what Gail has said, especially Amazing Grace, because we were between Amazing Grace and another hymn, and Gail was just like, Amazing Grace is a classic. Amazing Grace is a classic. And it's like, okay, so we decided to use them because, yeah. And I think for me, it's more or less, because this songs are classics. It's like, how would you interpret it? Because God is a God of creativity. God created music. God literally created music. And it's like all these genres of music and everything. How would someone, I'm from Nigeria, how would someone in Nigeria, a young person, be able to relate to this hymn? Because growing up in church, people used to complain sometimes that, oh, these hymns are dreary and all. But as you grow older, you look at the lyrics and all, then it begins to make more sense to you. But for a young person who's probably like maybe a teenager, how would a hymn make more sense to them? Let's interpret it in that way. And you have in all these songs, we're speaking Pidgin English, Nigerian Pidgin, we're speaking Yoruba, we're speaking Igbo. God created languages, so we just need to interpret it in a way that everyone can flow with. For lack of a better word, yeah.
There has been a great fusion, as you said, between the songs. You've got Amazing Grace, Pass Me Not, O Gentle Savior, and Down by the Riverside. 3 great classics there, and timeless tracks as well. And what was the thinking that you've got the mix? You said the different languages that you and cultural heritage that you bring to the track. How do you think that's been received?
Oh.
Yeah, James, you have to speak about this, man.
It's amazing. You know what? I think satisfaction is the fact that we were able to infuse it in such a way that it didn't take away from the original. Because we didn't want a situation where the older people are just going to be like, oh yeah, you guys have ruined the song for us, or blah blah blah. And the younger people are like, yeah, no. The fusion, the fact that it is a balance with this fusion, and everyone is loving it. The old the middle age, the young, everybody's like, oh my God. And I think that is the satisfaction, and the reviews and the feedback has been so good. Me personally, from those in Nigeria, because I was really, really, really adamant about the pronunciation of words, because I was like, listen,
Yes, you were.
yeah, if we do not get these words, if we don't pronounce it well, Nigerians, our ears are so attuned to stuff. Just like, yeah, they didn't say it well, they didn't say this thing well. But I've not had anybody, not one person, say, oh, you guys didn't say this well. It has just been positive. So that just gives me joy.
Yeah.
If I can add to that, because from when I was arranging and the instrumentation of this stuff, and I really appreciate James's input in terms of where to point me, in terms of the vibe, in terms of the Nigerian sound. But one thing I feel like we had to make sure is that we understood the song and understood how it's done originally. So, for example, "Pass Me Not" rings in my mind, because normally if you go into a church, that is sung quite traditional, slow, especially in the UK. You don't hear it with the vibe that we've given it, and the sort of I'm going to use the word vim, because and James said this word as well. It's a cry. It's a cry, and it says it at the end. Hear my humble cry. But we weren't trying to be really humble with it, because in terms of the vibe that we were going for, we wanted, even though you're supposed to be in the dumps or you're supposed to be upset, this is the song that you're supposed to sing to bring you out of this moment, and you can do it with joy. You can do it with a hop, step, and a jump in your feet. And it goes again. If I move to Amazing Grace, because somehow I've been refraining from saying which is my favorite song on the EP. I don't know if you're going to ask me that. And you know what? I was going to say what it was. Now I won't. But if I go into Amazing Grace, though, maybe that's giving you a hint.
I mean, you said it, bro.
No, I haven't. I've not. You'll not get me quoted on that. But Amazing Grace, I would like to think it's not been done like this before. And just once again, the vim and the energy and the fact that we understood where it comes from traditionally, and we still honored that. And that what James said, we still honored that. But we wanted to give it new life, a new meaning, and a new step. And I love the fact, the way that James, Amara. I didn't know what that word means, and I'm still probably saying it wrong. James, don't do that.
I'm saying
don't
it
do
wrong,
that,
really?
James. Don't do that. James, what's the word?
Amara.
Amara. See, I'm still saying it wrong. But
go.
Just the way that grace can be put in a different light, and I just hope that it's not just a spiritual connection that we're putting in. Obviously, that's the most important connection, but it's just a new light that we're giving people in this song, and people can find joy in the song.
Beautiful. Well, this is just a start. I'm hoping it's just a start, and there will be more coming from you. You mentioned, Gail, that you're expecting to be able to do more. This is going to be what I call a foundation, is it?
Yes, the start of many.
I guess the problem is, we actually left out songs that we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And like James mentioned one, there was actually more, so there has to be a part 2 to this.
Yes.
There has to be more volumes. So
yeah, definitely the beginning of a whole series and more. It's been an absolute joy working on this project, but I must say it's always a joy working with this team, always. So onwards and upwards.
And from here, people want to follow you. You're obviously on socials, and tell us where people can follow you.
I can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter, all at the same name, at Big Gospel Choir.
Big Gospel Choir. And if people want to download, stream, buy the track, it's available in all media outlets.
All major platforms. Go ahead, download, stream, buy, stream, download, save, stream, download, and then do it again.
And share. Spread the word. Let people know that Big Gospel Choir are here in full effect. And do you have any dates that people, any public dates coming up that people can maybe come and
Now you mention it, we are actually performing in Luton at the Hat Factory on the 28th of October as part of the Black History Month season that they're doing. And I think it's so perfectly timed. So we're at the end of October. Tickets are on sale now. Hat Factory Art Centre, Luton.
Superb. Guys, really appreciate all of your time today. It's been an absolute joy talking to you. I'm hearing the energy and just the connection with you all. I kind of want to be in one of your sessions one time thinking, flying the wall, right? and hoping within that time you get some great music out there as well. But really, on behalf of all of us here, thank you very much. We'll be spreading the word, letting people know about it.
Thank you.
And they can follow more Big Gospel Choir. Check them out. More great things in 2023 and beyond.
Yes.
Thank you.
Guys, God bless you all. Take good care. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harry.